Welcome back, friends. LostScarf here, and it's time to see that she is actually guilty. Now, here we go. Movements in Alabast.
As I said earlier, I was assigned to guard duty in the Alabastian embassy. After I saw the steel samurai off on his way towards the ambassador's office, I returned to the Rose Garden for a bit and checked up on the security situation. After all the preparations were in place, I was called back by Ambassador Alba to his office.
Okay, alright.
Francesca, I want us to make this very clear from the very beginning.
So what I wish to confirm is that the only time span in which you were in this office was before the murder occurred, is that correct?
Yes, of course.
I see. For now, the only way that I can see us to break out of the situation is to ask Francesca about her testimony in more detail. Movements in Alabast.
Okay, press.
I thought your duty was to fact-find anything you could about the smuggling ring.
Yes, that was my job. But upon hearing that the Atagrasu had sent a calling card to the embassy, Ambassador Alba called upon us to protect the embassy instead. That incident 7 years ago. Or have you forgotten what happened here back then?
Anything related to that case we were involved in appears to be rather painful for her. It's not exactly one I can readily forget myself.
It looks like you remember the case after all.
Of course I do.
I inspected every location, every possible escape route, and every aspect of the police's security detail. I did all that. Then after that... Press.
So you were at the theatre as well?
Yes, and I suppose you were also there as well, watching that stage show?
Well, yes, so Francesca was there.
Huh. Well, after the show was over and I saw the steel samurai off, I returned to the Rose Garden for a bit and checked up on the security situation.
I think that was a new one, I'm not sure. Why did you need to confirm the degree of preparation for even the speech?
For security's sake, of course. What other reason could I have had? No one knew just how the Atagrasu had planned on getting in, right?
Yes, I suppose you're right.
And in the end, the Atagrasu did choose to appear in the Rose Garden. Even if it did turn out to be nothing more than a shadow. Who would have thought that she would use a shadow?
Whoa! Calm down, Francesca. She still must be nursing a grudge of the fact that she couldn't figure it out herself.
Anyway, there was no one in the Rose Garden, and we were aware that the speech was set to start soon thereafter. After all the preparations were in place, I was called back to Ambassador Alba to his office. By Ambassador Alba.
At that time, Damastu's body had yet to be found in this room, is that correct?
That's right. But Ambassador Alba was here. One could hardly miss his rather large presence.
Criminal will say anything to get out of getting arrested. How do we know you're not lying?
Well, if you do need proof, I'd be happy to oblige you.
Seriously?
Like I keep telling you. When I arrived at this office, Ambassador Alba was already here. He was standing by the flower box on the windowsill, watering his plants.
Oh, Quirkus, I can attest to that. I remember speaking with the lovely lady around that time here in my office. Alright then. Add that statement to your testimony and let's hear some details. So Ambassador Alba was in this room at the time, was he?
When I arrived, Ambassador Alba was watering the flowers on the windowsill.
Okay, press. For the sake of being thorough, I'd like to ask you something. How did you know that Ambassador Alba was watering his plants at the windowsill?
What do you mean by that?
The entrance to this room is on this side, while the window is on the opposite side. What if you say it is true, then when you entered the room, his body would have been like the wall. He would have been blocking your view of what he was doing. Isn't that not correct?
I suppose it was a bit hard to see around him. But fortunately for me, Ambassador Alba is not an immovable wall.
Hmm?
I knocked before I entered, and as I did, he turned around to greet me, with a watering can in his hand. So it's only natural to believe that he was watering his plants, right?
I suppose so.
At his greeting, we spent a little time talking about his flowers. He had obtained them himself, and is growing them with the utmost care, you know.
Yes. Of course, yes. The plants in this room, they are all like my children.
The passion flowers in the flower box in the windowsill are growing beautifully, too.
Ah!
All 4 of them are in full bloom.
Miss Von Karma, what did you just say now? They just now?
I said that the flowers are growing beautifully. What about that statement do you not understand?
What do I not understand? I do not understand why a certain thing is the way it is. I'd like for you to append that statement to your testimony.
Very well. There were 4 large passion flowers in full bloom in the flower box.
I'd like to confirm this with you one more time. There were 4 passion flowers in bloom in that box, correct?
Yes, I should hardly think I would have miscounted such an eye-catching flower.
There must be a deeper meaning to this statement. And it appears that I must take a gamble on its meaning for me to make any progress. The primitive statues were already switched by the time the murder happened. In light of that fact, what Francesca saw in this room before the crime is of incredible importance. There it is. Okay, so the 4 flowers. Hit my leg on the table. Don't click too many times. There. Okay, so also there's only 2, so oh! You could see them right there. Those aren't hair sticks. Those are plant sticks. Why are 2 missing is the question, right? Those 2 are missing right there. 2 large flowers in bloom, and Buster Apple takes great care in growing them. He hasn't noticed his flowers yet? Oh, Francesca. For some odd reason, your testimony contradicts with this piece of evidence.
It appears that way.
I knew it. I knew we couldn't trust your word, sis.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you doing discrediting Miss Von Karma like this?
Yes, sir. If you keep this up, she's gonna get taken away, sir. Ugh.
All I've done is state what I saw. I have made not a single mistake in my testimony. And for this, I am still under suspicion for murder. Is the number of flowers really that important at this juncture, Niles?
At the very least, it is a contradiction in this enigmatic case. One that I find hard to dismiss as irrelevant. Let's hear it, Mr. Prosecutor. What does the number of flowers have to do with anything? What does it prove? I believe the answer to that will become clear if we were to examine the flower box. How did this contradiction come about? There must be something behind this discrepancy. They're my beloved flowers. I've grown them with the utmost care. So I ask that you please be gentle with them as you examine them, Mr. Edgeworth. I understand. That fade to black was weird. Okay, you can see the big holes. Alright. Take a look at the watering can. This watering can has a rather robust design.
Miss Edgeworth, why are you telling us stuff we can clearly see for ourselves? Plus, if you keep wasting time talking about that, Miss Von Karma's gonna get arrested.
I better examine something else.
Flower.
The name of these flowers? I believe they're called passion flowers. Despite being called flowers, they are actually a species of vine. They appear to be growing well and are well supported by these plant supports. Yeah, but no matter how I look at it, it looks like there are only 2 of them. You realize, don't you, sis? Your little lies failed you.
Now, Edgeworth? Hurry up and shut up this man for me already.
I suppose I will need to use some evidence to shut him up, won't I? Don't I? I do have evidence, Joe. Not yet. I still have a thing or two left to examine. We do have evidence, though, but let's look at this. We noticed those holes before. This patch of soil looks as though it has had something removed from it. What are you doing, Mr. Prosecutor? Why'd you climb up all of a sudden? I'm still here waiting for an explanation, you know.
Did you know, Agent Lang, flowers are best appreciated in silence? It looks like 2 things were pulled out of this flower box.
Now we do this, okay. So just get through. Do 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 do. Show evidence.
I believe I have just the piece of evidence you require.
Oh, you do you? You have such confidence in that face in the face of your current plight. But I highly doubt it'll last until the end.
You howl like a wolf, Agent Lang. But we'll see if you have any bite to back up that bark after you see the evidence. The truth the passion flowers reveal can be seen in this piece of evidence.
Those hair sticks.
Sheena, who was supposedly in Babal the entire time, had these hair sticks on her. They look exactly like the plant supports in this flower box. In other words, I believe it can be said that these hair sticks are in actuality support sticks for the passion flowers.
And so what? Is this really all that important to the case?
Of course it is. It means that we found yet another item that was smuggled between the countries tonight. Think about it logically, Agent Lang. These sticks were originally in Alabast. But somehow they wound up in Sheena's hands, who was in that bubble the whole night. So make no mistake, these sticks were smuggled somehow, just like the knife and statue.
Very well then. I want to hear from you exactly how they wound up in Babal.
How did these support sticks find their way to Babal and why? There must be some reason as to why they ended up here. So that's why. Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this and tell me its shape.
Just another stick, isn't it?
And so it is. The shape of support sticks is what is important. But when they are used with something in this room, that's when it all comes into focus. And the object that completes the picture when used with the support sticks is... I have no idea! Let's just do the statue. Eureka! This is what was used with the support sticks.
Come again.
Isn't it obvious? Someone used those with this. Those with these? Could you be any more vague? Why don't you try again? Yes, I suppose I should. It would appear that this was insufficient in conveying what I wanted to say. The answer should become obvious to me if I just think calmly about it once more. The only thing that can really connect the two offices together has to be this. I thought it'd be the clock, but we can't go over there, can we? No, we can't. Wall thing? No! Okay, that's concerning, isn't it? Okay, so... I don't know... Crossbow?
That's a crossbow. Wait, you're not really suggesting...
Okay! Okay, yeah, I get it. That's the zipline. I am. These hair sticks, or rather, plant support sticks. They make for perfect arrows.
I've done it. I found the common thread that connects the two offices. But this thread has yet to be completely untangled. Even using the arrows, how does this explain how the statues was transported? Furthermore, who could it have been who fired these sticks as arrows? There must be a common thread that ties all of these things together. Mr. Prosecutor, hold on a second. You do realize what happens when you tie a statue to an arrow, right? They don't fly at all. Zipline! Got establishment. Border crossing part 2. So Papa's statue was draped in the Gatagras's clothes and then shot over here. Even if you fired the arrows from this side, they wouldn't go far with a statue tied to them. I don't think I need to tell you that the primitive statues didn't sprout wings. You're a realist, aren't you? You're a realist after all, aren't you? There you go. The primitive statues didn't sprout wings? Of course they didn't. Glad you understand. I feel much better already. I was afraid for a second that you were unaware of that crucial fact. It's only crucial because you're under the belief that wings are necessary for this equation. What? You need to free your mind a bit more and let it fly like a bird on the wind. The primitive statues flew, but not on a wing. Allow me a bit of your time, and I'll explain this mysterious phenomenon to you. Crossing point 2. Press. I really need to heal. But that incredible scene just happened to have been caught on film, resulting in this photo. And what an incredible scene it was. This photo was taken by a freelance photojournalist, right? She must have had a lot of heart. Yes, so I hear. And not every photojournalist is known to be honest, right? Especially not the ones that sell photos of spirits and giant creatures to tabloids. Yes, I know what you mean. I've seen those sorts of photos many a time in court. But there have been times when these photos have turned out to be telling the truth. If you had ever stood in a court of law, you would know that it's entirely possible. Huh, you really believe that stuff you're spewing right now? A courtroom certainly is a strange place if what you say is true. But there really is something odd about that photo, no matter how you look at it. But we are in agreement that an arrow by itself would reach the other side, correct? But just the arrow by itself is pretty meaningless, don't you think, Mr. Prosecutor? Because the things they wanted to smuggle were a lot bigger than that. No, that's not necessarily true. What? What I need right now is not further discussion of my conclusions, it's the launching of my conclusions. What the shooter wanted to launch with the crossbow was not the statues themselves, but rather something a crossbow can launch that can be used to move the statues. If it wasn't a statue that was tied to the arrows, then what did the crossbow launch? The thing the crossbows launched? Allow me to show you the answer. Very well then. Come on. Show me what you've got. But I warn you, I'll know when you're just bluffing. This is what was launched from the Alabastian office with the crossbow. Gonna save. I have no health left. Wire. Oh, hey, it worked! Finally, we have reached this point in our discussion. I present to you that which was carried by the arrow from the crossbow. Huh, I get it now, Mr. Prosecutor. I can see exactly what you're trying to say. You're saying that the wire that was tied to an arrow and then shot into Mr. Koshin's office, all the way from the 5th floor of the Alabastian Embassy down to the 3rd floor of the Babalese Embassy. If what you're claiming is really what happened, I can see how Alabast's primitive statue could be moved. Gravity could be used to move the statue down the wire from the 5th to the 3rd floor. But then what about the Babal's primitive statue? The dark shadow in this photo is clearly flying away from Babal. Going in the opposite way of gravity, the 3rd floor of the Babalese embassy, up to the 5th floor of the Bastion embassy. How do you explain that? Aha! I think I finally see how the gears behind this whole trick work. Agent Lang, the motion used behind this trick. I wonder if perhaps you have yet to envision how it works in your head. Motion? What motion? I figure they're just gonna have one going down is gonna propel the other one up. I guess they're just gonna do that. So they're just as that one's going, this one's going. That's the idea. This is the motion that was employed to smuggle Babal's primitive statue. Rotary motion, I believe. Not swinging motion, it's not bungee motion, it's rotary. It's come safe, I got no HP. I believe it was done via rotary motion. The two statues were transported simultaneously. Simultaneously? Get real, the statues would collide somewhere along the way. Did I ever say that there was only one line of wire between the two offices? There you go. Yup. Like a bike. If you shot an arrow with the two ends of a wire tied to it, a circular belt can be formed. Ling Shi says, don't object and call a success what is beyond reasonability. Take into account the tension between the two wires. The top one would sag too much to the point that where the statues would collide anyway. Agent Lang, as you know, the primitive statue is one-of-a-kind national treasure. The fact that Babal's statue is a hollow replica of the real statue, there it is. It would naturally be lighter than the real one, meaning that my idea is very possible. So so the lighter one will stay taut, while the heavier one will go low, and since the lighter one's gonna be assuming going above, or whatever whatever way they're trying to do it, like this or like this. You can't see it. Okay. They're either side to side, or they're above, and the lighter one's gonna be up here, so the heavier one's going down here. Ling Shi says, "Hole, hole, hole." Here's what I believe happened. Miss Yu and her mysterious co-conspirator set themselves up in the two different rooms. The co-conspirator bridged the rooms by shooting the two ends of the wire down on one arrow. Then the two of them covered the statues and proceeded to transport the statues. After the switch was completed, another arrow was fired, carrying the other end of the wire down to Babal, where it was to be disposed of. And to do that, Miss Yu had hid inside the grandfather clock, QED. Wed. Oh wow, she got hidden! This proves it right, Agent Lang. That I'm not the killer. Not yet, sis. What time is it? Okay. I still haven't had my dessert yet. Right, Mr. Prosecutor? The proof is in the pudding, as it were. Pudding is a nice dessert. So, do you think you can do it? Can you prove that what you said is what happened? Because remember, if you can't, I'll be taking a certain someone back with me, home with me as a souvenir. That's creepy. I agree that as long as there's no proof, my hypothesis remains just that. However, what I have laid out is no mere hypothesis, but there's one more piece of evidence. One more? This should be interesting. You think you have a piece of evidence that will turn your hypothesis into fact? Well then, let's see it, Mr. Prosecutor. The thing that made it possible to create a circular belt out of a length of wire? I believe that it is right here in this very room. The fan? Now then, I believe this is what made the circular built transportation method possible. The fan. Save. Looks like you dropped another bomb on us again.
The last piece of evidence, piece of the trick, are 2 pulleys.
Precisely. The ceiling fans double as pulleys in this case. And thanks to the fact that there's one installed in each of the offices, the ceiling fans made for the perfect pulley set for the flat wire to run on. Oh, check how loud that is. Okay, that doesn't pick the mic. That's good news. That's what I was checking. This must be it. This is how the smugglers bypass the impenetrable defense. You really are saying something else, Mr. Prosecutor. I bet you figured it all out already, haven't you? You know who the big hotshot that set up this real-life stage show is, don't you? The person who set up this rather large and complex stage show needs to be someone who had foreknowledge of the existence of a ceiling fan in both the Alabastian and Belize offices, and that the passion flower support stocks could be used as arrows. The real mastermind behind this case? Well, don't you dare make this wolf wait for his food.
Why are you so hesitant, Miles Edgeworth? We can't say who it is. Why don't you present something like you always do?
A single point of the finger here in this case will explode into an international incident. However, it's already too late for me to stop the forward momentum. It appears that I have no choice now but to rush in. There's a piece of evidence that will prove to us who the mysterious mastermind is.
I don't know what it is. Is it the tape? Gotta be the tape.
And this is it. Where's my real dessert? How long do you intend to keep it from me? That piece of evidence isn't satisfying at all. We're about to see what a game over looks like. Then stop being so picky with your food. Okay, what's a game over look like? Looks like I've got all the answers I need. Come on, sis, it's time for us to go. Agent Lang, please wait. Sorry, I'm tired of waiting. Because I'm not one for waiting around for others to solve my case.
Miles Edgeworth, I demand that you do something about this at once.
But I'm not at a loss of what to do myself. Well, I know I have plenty to ask the sis here about. Let's go. The end. So what's game over look like?
Miles?
Is this really where it all ends? Thus the truth was lost for all eternity. Freaking game overs. She didn't whip him. She didn't whip him horribly right there. Okay. This, the trump card. And if this is it? No! Okay. The handwriting? No! The flowers. He has only one would have the knowledge, and that'd be him. Yep. The smuggling could not have been possible without the use of the crossbow. Furthermore, the arrows that were shot by the crossbow were plucked, as it were, from the flower box in this very room. They were planted so long ago that the passion flowers had the time to grow so big that Miss Von Karma didn't even notice the arrows when she visited this room today. On top of all this, the fact that the culprit knew that both offices had ceiling fans tells us that the person has very detailed information on the embassy's layouts. Gonna be Corcus. So as you may have already guessed, the person I'm excusing of hatching this plan is the person who grew the flowers in the flower box with the utmost care. Thus it can only be you, Quercus Alba.
Are you out of your mind, Miles Edgeworth?
I'm certain of what I am saying. I'm sure that he is the culprit. Tell me, Mr. Prosecutor. What was the ambassador trying to accomplish by doing all that stuff you just outlined? I'd like to know too. Was he trying to cause an incident? Because he already had the real statue. Why in the world would he need to use a trick like that? I know it's because he tried to stop the investigation. That's why I thought it was him. I understand your need to doubt me. However, there's one thing that stands out to me as very odd. This one thing, huh? It's because he accused Miss Von Karma that Alba was willing to let this go. That's the reason. I thought it was a trick by going like, if he lies, he can keep investigating. The one single end result Ambassador Alba sought to obtain. If we were to examine the focus of this complex trick, I believe we will finally find the answer to everything here. Everything will become clear once we examine this piece of evidence. The trump card or the tape? Let's show the tape. You want us to examine this? Yes, I believe that by examining it, we will finally have all of our answers. I think she says items that become evidence should never have any part overlooked. All evidence related to this case are fine and don't need to be examined again. It would appear that I was mistaken. Well then, if I could ask you to please leave the premises. As you can see for yourself, I am an old man, and I'm a bit tired from all this. Wait, please. I made up my mind, so if you could please leave. Marcus, Agent Lang, a good job to you as well. Although I don't think we'll ever be meeting again. What? Now then, please respect the request of the ambassador of the Kingdom of Alabast. And vacate the premises. They really have game overs for, like, every instance? We never get to see these. Is this it? Well, we never get to see these because I never lose. Alright. There's just so many instances, okay. The trump card, not the tape? Man. The sticks? Okay, alright, okay, not those things, okay. Not the handwriting? Okay. The guitar pick, I guess, because we still haven't figured out what the hell this pick's about. I guess there's gonna be something with the water here at some point. We still haven't figured this part out. This is obviously related to this, I guess. Just for a second. Everything will become clear once we examine this piece of evidence. Oh, the Babal statue. Oh, the Babal statue contains something. It's not hollow anymore. Right? No? How about the Alabastian? Okay, it's the Alabastian. Okay, alright. So I got it backwards. I would fully understand the reasoning had the situation been the reverse. However, to go through the trouble of swapping the real Primadou statue for the fake, I sense a very shady reason for such a bizarre action. And who better to ask for that reason than King Primadou himself? I see. Ambassador, we'll be examining that statue now, with or without your permission. We're looking at... Okay. Bottom. So there's the handprint there. These are Mr. Cochin's fingerprints. The fact that they're on here suggests that the statue once belonged to Babal. They were smuggled from Babal to Alabastra. Why was there a need for them to smuggle it in? This guy kind of looks like the Steel Samurai, don't you think? Okay, we did this one before. Wait, what? Oh, crap, this is new. Alright. You know something in the gap of the neck? Perhaps it's possible to open the statue from this gap in its construction. What?
Hurry up and open it, Miles.
Alright, here goes. Oh, the bill plates.
Wow, it really did open up. Hey, what's this thing that fell out?
I believe a more thorough examination of it is required. What in the... is this? Hey. Is this what I think it is?
It's a plate for making counterfeit bills.
Somehow it appears that we've at long last arrived at the exit to this complex labyrinth. We finally hold within our hands one of the counterfeit money plates, and the reason why the replica was smuggled into Alabas to begin with. Alright. The pre-reduced statue can only be handled by the ambassador or the secretariat. The replica is nothing more than a hollow shell covered in gold. These two circumstances make the statue the ideal object in which to hide contraband. After receiving the statue containing the counterfeit plate from Sheena, the ambassador had the misfortune of accidentally running into Damas II. Surprised by the thief, the ambassador raised the replica statue at Damas II and... Wow, he somehow killed that guy? Straight on? And in order to frame the steel samurai of the murder, he covered the samurai sword in blood. Well, Ambassador Alba? You're the leader of the smuggling ring? My country is a mess. And it's all because of you? Okay, this is gotta be the end of the game right here.
You're the one who killed Damas too?
Answer us! I never thought... Oh, Quirkus, I never thought that you would figure things out to this level. However, there's one point I disagree with you on. Yeah, I gotta change this up. It's too much like Edgeworth. The head of the smuggling ring was Mr. Cochin. Quit screwing around. I have no sympathy for someone who would try to pass the guilt onto a dead man. Is there one thing I'm sure of? If there's one thing I'm sure of, it's that you're the real ringleader, Quirkus, Alba. You're wrong about everything. It's not good to speak with such subjectivity, you know, Agent Ling. Subjectivity, my conclusion is anything but, and is the result of logic and investigation. Logic and investigation? Only seconds ago you were ready to arrest Miss Von Karma. I don't think we can give such flippy-floppy logic any real weight, do you? Huh? It looks like you still don't get why I came back. Excuse me? You see, the reason I came back is so that I could sink my fangs into your wrinkly old neck. From the very beginning, my real target has been you. What?
Agent Lang, I demand an explanation.
Sorry, sis. I didn't mean to put you through all that. I knew you were innocent from the very beginning.
You did?
I knew that this whole incident had been meticulously planned and prepared for. So naturally, the occupant of this room, Ambassador Alba, seemed the most suspicious. But without the ambassador's permission, we couldn't get in and take another look around. So the plan was for Damas II to steal the statue so they get the plates out. But he showed up too early and got killed by Quirkus. Ah, so that's why you put on this big show to accuse Francesca of the murder? Using Francesca as the bait, you were able to gain us entry and investigative rights. Yeah, if I hadn't done that, I doubt the ambassador would have given the okay to poke around.
So that was all this was about. Very well, I will forgive you. But in exchange for using me as bait, you will take some responsibility and help us find the truth.
Agent Lang, for giving me such a great opening, I thank you. You know, I just knew, Mr. Prosecutor, that somehow if we were able to find some proof by investigating this room, that you would be able to figure out the real culprit with your special brand of logic. The evidence detectives collect combined with the logic of a prosecutor. That's just as it should be in a prosecutor-detective team, right? I don't know about all that. But one thing I do know is that I'm itching to see that old man get what's coming to him. Whew, you're quite scary when you want to be, aren't you? Hey, you're the one who was planning to use me to push all the guilt onto Sis. And unfortunately for you, you misjudged me. Agent Lang, I wish for you to stop trying to intimidate me. What we need now is evidence and proof. I wonder if you have what is necessary to prove that I am the head of the smuggling ring?
Objection!
Don't be such a sore loser. If you really are the head of the smuggling ring, then you should acknowledge your crimes with dignity.
Dignity? That is nothing more than a fool's insincere display of strength. If you really wish for me to acknowledge my crimes, then I would like to first see some of this thing you call evidence.
Yeah. I tell you, I knew nothing, really. I didn't even know that a counterfeit plate was hidden inside that statue. You saw the real statue that vested in your country? The authority the rules were fake. It doesn't make any sense that you didn't know anything. It doesn't make sense?
What does it make sense?
Can you prove that it doesn't make sense? He's really got us. He's turned the entire situation around against us.
The proof that Interpol has been after, which points to this man as the ringleader. We somehow find that proof now, then we can see to it that justice is finally served. Is there nothing I can use to break this case wide open? The trump card and the videotape. With those two items, we might be able to finally bring this man down. But the card is evidence from a case that Mr. Faraday hid away in secret. And the tape was stolen by Detective Bad from the police. They're both illegal evidence. No matter what a protector of the law can't be allowed to use such pieces of evidence. Needless to say, we Von Kamas are commanded to achieve nothing but victory. And by any means necessary. The only way to bring someone like that to justice was to do so outside of the courts. That's what we thought, at the time. I no longer follow the path of Manfred von Karma, and I won't follow the path of the Yatagarasu. This leaves me with what? What creed will I believe in? If I want to pursue the truth, then I will sully my hands in illegality. And if I want to pursue justice, then I will lose the truth. What is the law and what is justice? And which path is a prosecutor supposed to follow? That choice is what I must make by my own hand here. This is super serious. Save. I'm trying to figure out if there's more to this, or should we just finish it now? We're already going pretty over here. I believe we're going to have to prove everything anyway, so we'll stop here. And next time might be the conclusion. We'll see. But that right there is the game. I have fun. Hope you have fun watching. That's what's all about. Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.